this is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Golabinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Akosita Tale. This is FBC News. Tonight, PMX stands clear on churches and halls. Health sector tries to get back on its feet. And trauma counseling needed for children in areas that have been affected by TC Winston. However, first tonight, the Weather Office is calling on all Fijians to be prepared as more rain and flash flooding is expected this weekend with the imminent arrival of a tropical disturbance over the Fiji group. Tropical Disturbance 17F was located northwest of Nadi at midday today and is expected to move over the Fiji group throughout the weekend. Director of Meteorology Ravin Kumar says system brings with it a lot of rain that will be prevalent throughout the maritime and land areas of the country.
In the course of next 6 to 12 hours, we anticipate that these warnings will be upgraded to the whole of Fiji, and the heavy rain to continue tonight and tomorrow. The all communities that we are still in the tropical cyclone season, as well as we are transiting through the wet season. Please remain prepared and take heed of the warnings and make timely and informed decision if you are staying in the low-lying areas or the areas where you are staying gets flooded frequently.
Churches and village halls damaged or destroyed by TC Winston will not be rebuilt by the government. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama made the statement during his tour of the cyclone-affected areas in Vanuatu this week. Eleanor Turange View with this report.
Churches and village halls, either damaged or destroyed by tropical cyclone Winston, will have to be rebuilt by the villagers themselves. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama made this clear to the people of Kumbulau during a Talano session on Wednesday.
I just want to raise an issue if our village church can be assessed. We have been trying to rebuild it. We have some money set aside and we are requesting for your help.
We will build schools, we will build roads, we will connect water, we will bring you electricity, we will rebuild homes. Your churches and village halls, you have to build it yourselves.
Bainimarama says for now, government's main priority is the rebuilding of schools and homes.
If I build a church for Anglicans, I will also have to build one for the Adventists, one for the all-nation denomination. That means I will build 4 or 5 churches in one village. And you all know there are hundreds of villages affected. There will be no money left to build schools for our children, which is the most important thing for me right now.
Other issues raised to the Prime Minister during the Talano session include the lack of water supply after tropical cyclone Winston, requests for chainsaws and portable sawmills, as well as pine costs. Eleanor Turangebu, FBC News.
Trauma counseling for children is the biggest need in areas that have been affected by tropical cyclone Winston. This is the findings of the Fiji Alliance for Mental Health following the counseling administered to women in the Mba, Tavua and Rakiraki areas during the Easter weekend. Madimbole Tamana with this report.
Children living in areas ravaged by tropical cyclone Winston are the most vulnerable to mental trauma. This is the findings of visiting psychologists following the counseling sessions held with women in these areas along the Mba Rakiraki corridors in March.
And these counsellors would really be specifically looking at children for trauma counselling. We've brought in a Dr. Chia Grande out of Honolulu, and then we've got 2 more counsellors who will be coming in May and June. And these counsellors will really be specialising in trauma counselling for children.
Apart from counselling the children, a succession plan is also being mapped by the Alliance to ensure the treatment of those suffering from post-Winston trauma get the best help available.
Train the trainer programs so that when these counsellors depart and go back to their homeland, we've got people on the ground who will be able to continue the counselling session.
The counselling has also been generating positive responses from the women in the Western Division.
So we had numbers in the hundreds. For instance, in Bar, through the help of the Alicias, we had over 300 participants come forward.
The hope for the Alliance is to cover as much ground with the professional help they have in reaching out effectively to those whose lives have been severely affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Madiun Tamana, FBC News.
The health sector damage from the recent spate of natural disasters is reportedly under $100 million. Health Minister Chonyu Samate says they've listed their priority areas with a number of rural health centers in need of urgent repairs over the coming months. Maggie Boyle reports.
Tropical Cyclone Winston's widespread damage across the health sector is more than apparent in its rural and maritime areas, and there is a need for urgent repairs.
The quick fix solutions have all been put in place. So where we needed to just do a patch tin, that's been done. But now we'll need to look at the next phase of rehabilitation. We're working together with the Ministry of Finance team, Ministry of Infrastructure to identify. We've identified our priority sites, and those will be addressed first up. I mean, places like Yasawa, Kese, almost completely destroyed, Waimaro, Loma Loma, and Nassau. Those ones will definitely have to be rebuilt, because the integrity of some of these structures has been affected. Eh?
While the minister would only admit that damage so far is an estimate, work is now being done in earnest to finalise their rebuild cost years from now.
Because we've had so many different assessments and they keep changing. Now this one is most complete, so probably we'll rely on this one.
Are you looking at less than 100 million?
Yeah, less than 100 million, up to 2019. Eh?
TC Winston struck Fiji on the 20th of February, claiming 45 lives and leaving a trail of destruction in its path, which could take years to recover from completely. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Fiji National Provident Fund has paid out $259.3 million to more than 170,000 applications so far. FNPF Chief Operating Officer Tauchi Koroi says the fund is aiming to close off pending cases for the TC Winston assistance by the end of the month. Savera Tambua has more.
The FNPF is now working on 4 specific areas, while most of the other areas have returned to normal operations.
One is there are still some 3,700 queried applications at this stage that most members have submitted without proper information, wrong information, like signatures are wrong. Even some are submitted without signatures, even some without wrong names. So we have to work through the system to make sure that they are validated, corrected, before we process further.
Koroi says 1,300 applications need to be processed through payments, while reverse payments includes those that have been made to wrong accounts due to incorrect payment details provided by members, and uncollected checks are still due for collection.
It's a natural disaster assistance. It was supposed to be given immediately to relieve the member, facilitate the member going back to normal life. So we're thinking at this stage to give the members until the end of this month to come and collect or make arrangements for us to send before we make a final decision, but the thinking is to be deposited back to the members' account.
Applications that were rejected or terminated were for various reasons, which includes nil or low eligibility. Koroi is urging all members who opted for check payments to collect their checks before end of the month. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, Fiji and Australia work on bettering business and trade. And Hindus celebrate Ram Navami after 9 days of fasting. Stay with us for that and more.
Governor, we have Cyclone. Libni tabua. Do talta na wale no ronga na Bula FM. Bula FM no mando na se.
Bula na rango ulemila au ngo ngainandi ando talitak na ronga na Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Bula ango pene lo toka do talitak na ronga na Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Nimbula na rango o ana waite webata ena kasi ando rongo na Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Fiji Australia Business Council is going to work towards a new dimension to help shape and grow business and trade relations between the two countries following the devastation caused by tropical cyclone Winston. This has been confirmed to FBC News by the president of the council, William Elenga. Plans are already in place for the Fiji Australia Business Council to change its work plan for 2016 to a rebuilding mode by working closely with the Fijian government.
Right now, I think the opportunities would be more on the infrastructure side of things. As obviously, a lot of our key infrastructures have been damaged and needs to be rebuilt. Now, this is an opportunity for Fiji to look at new, better, modern technologies to utilize. And Australia can offer a lot in that area.
The Council says business is usual in terms of strengthened relations with our neighbours who have played a leading role in rehabilitating those affected during the cyclone.
The immediate needs now is rebuilding in the humanitarian area, and that's homes, health and school and other things. The business we are hoping will fall into place after that. Hopefully mostly in the agricultural sector. We really want to put some focus in the agricultural sector this year to try and narrow the gap in our trade.
The Council adds that they are also looking at the rehabilitation of our manufacturing sector as well as the tourism sector. The Fiji Australia Business Council is one of Fiji's most successful and high-profile business councils with over 120 member companies. The Health Ministry has officially received over 4,000 cases of conjunctivitis, the eye infection locally known as Zika. Health Minister Chonil Samate admits that these figures are underreported, with a number of people choosing to self-medicate and follow handed-down medical advice.
Conjunctivitis has been a concern for us. I have the figures around the central, western and northern. So there's been a total of around 4,000 cases, slightly more than 4,000. About 2,400 of these is from the central division. Well, we have a higher population density here in the central division, so that's been the number of cases that we have. I'm not too sure if there are others from the Eastern Division, so it could be slightly higher. But the figures that I have at the moment, 4,000. So it has been something that has gone through our entire population.
Hindus around the country celebrated Ram Navami today, completing the 9 days of prayer and fasting, which ended with final prayers at midday today. As Shivan reports, Ram Navami marks the birth of Lord Rama.
This is the heart of Ram Navami celebrations, a joyous moment for Hindus reenacting the birth of Lord Rama. At the Shiv temple in Samambula, young and old gather to be part of the religious event. It's a festival of marking the end of the evil and bringing life to the people.
Sri Ram's birthday. So today is the last day that we celebrate his birthday, and he was born in Ayodhya, and his mother's name was Kaushalya.
Of our major festivals, apart from Shivratri and Krishna Janmashtami, this festival is celebrated mainly all over the world.
Verses are recited from the holy book Ramayana, and devotees are reminded of the values Lord Rama preached.
Whatever we have learned from him, and what is like, it's our important, to know our religion, and we learn many things about Ram.
Ram Navami is a very auspicious occasion for all the Hindus celebrated in Fiji and all around in the world. The role Ram has played is very important to all of us.
During the 9 days of prayer, eating meat is strictly forbidden for Hindus. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
A 72-year-old retired security officer could not hold back his emotions after he was informed that he has won $30,000 from a Tetslotto scratch and win competition. Levani Vunisa of Nataledakenba says he will use the money and rebuild his home, which was blown away during Tropical Cyclone Winston. Vunisa, who lives by himself, says he will also provide financial assistance for his younger brother. And sports is up next. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Akasita, and good evening. In sports tonight, Ryan makes 3 changes to Fiji's 7 squad. And Elder qualifies for Rio Olympics. This and more after the break.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks. We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Isake Katonimbao is confident Fiji will do well at the Singapore Sevens. He might be off duty this weekend but believes his team will step up again and deliver the goods. Vashnil Prasad has more.
The Iceman, as he is known as, Isake Katonimbao, will miss his first tournament since he came back in Sevens game 3 years ago, but believes fans won't miss the vacuum left by him in Singapore Sevens.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I think these the boys, this good mix of experience and young players. So I definitely think they will do well this weekend.
Ice is known of his hard-hitting tackles and has predicted the boys to do well in the 2-day tournament, especially Mosi Mulevoro, Nemani Nangusa and Alifreti Vaitokani.
They deserve to be called up. They deserve to be in the team, and I believe they won't disappoint this weekend.
Well, all of us know that this gentleman is a stone to break when it comes to the game time. Same was his message to the fans today.
I just told them good luck and go out there and give your best and win the first back-to-back tournaments Fiji has ever achieved.
The message is simple, so let's get together with Katonimbao and support our national team as they take the world from tomorrow. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan has made 3 changes to his 12-member squad for the Singapore Sevens. Included in the team are Mosi Mulevoro, Nemani Nangusa and Alifreti Vaitokani. Missing the cut are Chosua Vivi and Sebuloni Modenidangi. Ryan has maintained his core players with Jose Kolonisao to captain the side at the 2-day tournament. The Singapore Sevens begins tomorrow and you can watch live coverage on FBC TV or catch live commentaries of Fiji's matches on Radio Fiji 1 and Bula FM. Expect the versatile Fiji Sevens team in the Singapore tournament kicks off tomorrow. Coach Ben Ryan has gone for players who can shift positions if the need arises. Edwin Nunn reports.
Team selection hasn't been easy for coach Ben Ryan, who spent much of the week pondering over who should run on in Singapore.
It's weighing on my mind a lot, and you know, it's been really at the front of all my thoughts for the last 24-48 hours. What I'm trying to weigh up is making sure we have a team that's capable of winning the tournament this weekend, giving some opportunities for some players, but at the same time, you know, making sure that the players that are representing us this weekend, I feel are still have got a chance for the Olympic Games. So I don't want to play someone if I feel, you know, perhaps they're not quite ready for Rio in 3 months' time. So there's a few things going on in my head.
On the eve of the Singapore Sevens, Ryan says the team has finally found its legs again, having recovered from a grueling Hong Kong tournament. The coach confirms Fiji will stick to its usual style of play, but with more options to interchange positions.
I think the only thing that you might see change is that some of the players play it in a 1 or 2 different positions, you know. So let's say, look, Oscar last weekend played at 10 rover and wing. Semi played at wing and prop. We have the ability. Jassa can play both in and out of the forwards. I think Amosi Mulavoro can play at hooker as well as at halfback if you suddenly want to open the game up and get some more footballers on the field. It's week 2. Some of our steppers might find a bit more space than perhaps they didn't have last week. So you know, that's also an option. Do we run with 3 playmakers? Do we have Amosi Mulavoro, Naisila Sila, and Jerry Tuwai? Do we stick them all in the squad, gamble a little bit, but really go for X factor?
Ryan expects England and Samoa to give Fiji a good run for its money in the pool stages, but is optimistic about the team's chances of making the playoffs. Fiji's opening match is against Samoa at 4:12 p.m. tomorrow. Edwin Nand, FBC Sports.
All 3 players called up to join the team in Singapore have been included in the final 12. Alivreti Veitokani, Nemani Nangusa and Emosi Mulevoro are relishing the chance to make their mark and prove their worth for the Rio Olympics. All 3 have adjusted well with the team in the last few days and are working extra hard to hit the ground running when the tournament kicks off tomorrow.
We came into camp this week. We tried to tell the boys the coaches tell us to refocus and to reset, forget about last week and just focus on this week. Since this is my first tournament, some of these boys have played last week, and for me to represent Fiji for the first week, it's really important for me to show a good performance, and as like I said, impress the coaches.
I'll try and work together as a team, teamwork, and trying to improve my defense and my decision making so we can win the tournament this week.
The Fiji Beta Nawaka Sevens did not get off to a good start in Nandi this morning. The withdrawal of some teams at the 11th hour caused delays, but once the tournament got underway, fans were treated to some top-class action. Chale Ndavakadaka with the details.
Top local teams, Yamathia, Police, Marist and Wardens Green, were among those that withdrew their registration from the Nawaka Sevens, leaving defending champions Wardens Gold, Westfield Dragons, Ratu Felice and host Nawaka as clear favourites for the title.
A couple of teams gave us calls like 2 or 3 days just before the tournament when we had completed with the draws. And these were some of those minor problems that we had to encounter. But apart from that, as you would have seen, the quality of rugby is still there. Spectators are loving it. We didn't expect to get this many crowd on the first day. For us, second day is always the day that the crowds come in.
The oldies division grabbed a lot of attention, with former national reps William Satala, Samu Samoisiwe and Tanya Langangau leading the Water Authority of Fiji side to beat defending champions Nawaka, which featured Apinayabo and Lailai Drew by 21-7.
Privilege for me to join this Water Authority team. This is the first time I play for a company. I used to play for my village team, and it's good to be playing with the boys whom I played with 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
I was just playing for Nawaka 7 after 10 years ago. That's what we won the Nawaka 7 2 years in a row. That's for my team from Ngau 7's team. Yeah?
While it may have been a slow start to the tournament, officials believe the action on day 2 tomorrow will live up to expectations and deliver the type of rugby that fans have come to enjoy at the Nawaka Sevens each year. Talento Takataka, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, managers of the 64 teams taking part at this year's Mara Sevens have been reminded that it is vital that they attend the officials' meeting next Thursday. There are 18 teams currently on standby, and according to organizers, if registered teams do not abide by the rules, they will be replaced. Meanwhile, JAXA Fiji today renewed its sponsorship for apparel and merchandise for a 3rd consecutive year.
This augurs well for the tournament. It shows the level of preparation that has come to make this tournament one of the best, to be probably the mecca of sevens in Fiji. As you all understand, JAX has been supporting not only the Mara Sevens but other tournaments around Fiji. We applaud them for your support.
The Mara Sevens will be played next Friday at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Only one Fijian team will take part in next year's Oceania Football Confederation's Champions League. This after both Fiji sides, Suva and Nandi, were bundled out at the pool stages of this year's competition, with Nandi going down to AS Magenta 3-0 in its final pool game, while Suva have lost their first 2 pool matches. Meanwhile, at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Suva plays New Caledonia's AS Lossie. Another athlete has joined Team Fiji's list for the Olympic Games in Brazil this year. This time it's Fiji Archery Association's Robert Elder, who qualified after winning gold in the men's recurve at the Oceania Championships in Tonga. This win has earned him automatic qualification for the Olympic Games, and he joins shooter Glenn Cable, who also qualified on merit. Today, the Fiji Table Tennis Association celebrated World Table Tennis Day in Suva. In an effort to promote the sport, the association set up tents and tables at the Damoda City car park and encouraged people passing by to give the game a try.
We have done it before, but it's mainly indoors. Today we wanted to be different. We wanted to take it outdoors and take it to the community where everybody can see what table tennis is all about and how interesting a sport it is.
Meanwhile, earlier this month, 16-year-old Sally qualified for this year's Olympic Games in Brazil. That's it from sports tonight. It's back to Aksita now with business.
The second residential stage of the new Denarau Island development, Denarau Waters, is now selling. Stage 2 comprises 41 spacious waterfront lots and is expected to sell quickly. The launch of Stage 2 follows the successful sale of all 59 lots on Stage 1, which was only released to the market in late 2015. Denarau Island developer Avosa Limited's master plan includes a flagship 300-room Holiday Inn resort by the esteemed Intercontinental Hotels Group. Civil works are now well underway and settlement for purchases of Denarau Waters is on track for 2017. Occasional rain and thunderstorms was experienced over the country today. An active trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain continues to affect the Fiji group till Sunday. All centers hit below 30 today, with Lambasa the hottest at 29 degrees. For northern half of Viti Levu, the southern half of Anua Levu, the Yasawa, Low and Lomaiviti group, strong east to southeast winds 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, rough seas elsewhere, moderate to fresh southeast winds, rough seas, occasional rain, heavier times and few thunderstorms over most places. Sunday should see rain and thunderstorms over most places. And recapping the main stories, the Weather Office has warned of more flash floods and rain this weekend. Children affected by TC Winston need professional help. And Singapore Sevens gets underway tomorrow with fans asked to get behind the team. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. And on to our poll question for this week, and we are asking, are there too many fake online boutiques in operation? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensize@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान कुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल आई ग्रेट है कुरबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है कुरबो में
एलिन लटुका में मिर्ची FM को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची FM इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची FM इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची FM इट्स हॉट